7 misconceptions that hold mid-level leaders back. In any organization, while there's only one top leader, there's always a group of individuals in the middle who aspire to contribute and participate in the leadership process. They aren't necessarily the best employees, nor are they at the very top. The crucial point is that they often have little or no ability to influence others, which leaves them feeling stuck in the middle of the organizational hierarchy. According to leadership expert John C. Maxwell, these are the mid-level leaders. In his book, The 360-Degree Leader, Maxwell identifies 7 common misconceptions that these individuals often hold, hindering their growth and effectiveness. 1. The position misconception. I can't lead if I'm not at the top. John C. Maxwell argues that this is the biggest misconception that most mid-level leaders have. They believe that only when they are at the top can they become leaders. However, the title is only the first step in the 5 levels of leadership of an organization, including positional leadership, acceptance leadership, results leadership, effective leadership, and great leadership. At the title level, people follow you only because they are forced to do so. Your influence will not be able to go beyond the scope of work. The longer you stay at this level, the higher the risk of resignation and the lower the morale. People who misunderstand titles do not realize how effective leadership develops. The problem is not where you stand, but your ability to influence others. When realizing this, mid-level leaders can find their way to create a strong influence on the organization from any position. 2. The destination misconception. When I get to the top, then I'll learn to lead. Just like in sports, such as a marathon, no one can win if they only start training on the day of the competition. Every athlete must go through a rigorous training process to prepare for the competition. The role of leadership is the same. If you want to succeed, you need to learn the art of leadership as soon as possible. Before you receive a leadership position, the art of leadership can be learned anytime, anywhere, even in the most difficult circumstances. Lead well in whatever position you are in, because that is the preparation for taking on more responsibility, heavier. If you don't, test your leadership and decision-making skills when there's less at stake. You'll struggle when you reach a higher position. Then, the price for each mistake will be very large, the consequences more severe, and your failure will be widely known. Mistakes at a low level can be easily corrected, but at a high position, they can cause great losses to the organization and seriously affect your reputation. So, if you want to become a successful leader, start learning how to lead now, before you have a leadership title. 3. The influence misconception. If I were at the top, people would follow me. Many people, especially those with little leadership experience, tend to overestimate the value of a title and thereby misunderstand their ability to influence. They believe that holding a high position will automatically give them influence. But the reality is the opposite. These positions require people with existing influence. The title can be assigned, but true leadership ability cannot be attached. Influence needs to be built over time. Remember that titles do not make leaders, but leaders can make titles. 4. The inexperienced misconception. When I get to the top, I'll be in control. You might have heard someone say, if I were the leader, things would be different. We wouldn't be doing this or that. This reveals both a positive and a negative aspect. The positive aspect is the desire to improve the organization and a belief in one's own abilities, which is often a sign of a potential leader. However, the negative aspect is that due to a lack of leadership experience, they may overestimate the power they will have. People in higher leadership positions understand that there are many factors that control the organization rather than just the title. You need to gather small parts of influence. Titles do not give you absolute power or protect you from everything. Again, the most important thing to remember is your influence. 5. The freedom misconception. When I reach the top, I'll no longer be constrained. Many people believe that leadership is the key to unlocking freedom, solving all professional difficulties and all problems at work. They dream about. When they reach the top, they will do this. When climbing to the top of the ladder of fame, they will rest. When owning a company, they can do anything. When leading, only the sky is the limit. But anyone who has ever owned a company or led an organization knows that these thoughts are just illusions. Becoming a leader doesn't eliminate all constraints, nor does it change the limits of your personal capabilities. When you're in a high position in the organization, your responsibilities are heavier. In many organizations, responsibilities increase faster than the power you have. The higher you go, the greater the expectations, the greater the pressure, and the more important your decisions. As the head, you not only need to organize your own work, but also have to work with employees, connect and empower them to succeed. Therefore, in some respects, the higher you go, the more freedom you lose, not the more you gain. 6. The potential misconception. I can't reach my potential if I'm not the top leader. Dreaming of becoming the top leader is common from a young age. Whether in politics or business, the goal is often the highest positions, like president or CEO. However, the reality is that most people do not reach the highest leadership position and often stop at intermediate positions in their careers. Maxwell advises that we should strive for excellence in our careers, not just achieve the highest position in the organization. We should focus on maximizing our individual potential, not necessarily occupying a certain position. Sometimes, the greatest influence doesn't come from the most important position. 7. The all-or-nothing misconception. If I can't get to the top, then I won't try to lead. Wanting to become the top leader is natural, but the reality is that most people will never become CEO. Does this mean they should completely give up on leadership? Some people might think, if I can't be the captain, I won't play anymore. This is a wrong view, because a true leader must be persistent and more determined. If you give up easily and don't try your best to achieve your goals, it will be difficult to convince others to trust and give you greater responsibilities. Leadership requires effort and patience, not just achieving the highest position. The takeaway: leadership is about influence, not position. These misconceptions highlight a common theme, a misunderstanding of the true nature of leadership. Leadership isn't about titles, power, or control. It's about influence, and influence can be exerted from any position within an organization. By recognizing and overcoming these misconceptions, mid-level leaders can embrace their current roles, focus on developing their leadership skills and influencing those around them, regardless of their title. Prepare for future opportunities. View their current position as a training ground for greater leadership responsibilities. Build their influence. Focus on earning trust, building relationships, and adding value to the organization. Maximize their potential. Strive for excellence in their current roles, recognizing that their impact can be significant even without being at the very top. True leadership is about inspiring and empowering others to achieve a common goal. It's about making a difference, regardless of your position on the organizational chart. So, start leading where you are and watch your influence grow.